Hey, at least you out of everybody got your money back. Like that's.
I mean, if you think I paid kind of like we shared the cost for the food, so I didn't get anything.
That doesn't fucking. You need food to survive. This is for the love of the sport we're talking about here.
Yeah,
that's the fucking economics major in you talking. No, if you account for the fact that I paid $275 in Metro car fare to get there.
Yeah.
Yo, what up? Welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 173.
50% joy, 50% stick.
Where does team fall in there?
That's all of us. That's like the Holy Spirit, you know.
It's like a Venn diagram. It's the whole thing.
Okay, so I see it. This is the joy circle, and this is the stick circle. Team is in the middle.
Team might be like the whole chart, you know. Like the team chart.
This is the team chart, and Joystick is part of it.
All right, so that's the chart. Throw it up. There you go. We figured it out. Welcome to the Joystick Show. We are here to do what we do best, and that is talk absolute nonsense for the next 30 to 45 minutes. You know how it be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes an hour when
it's always fun.
Ramble.
You got the gang here. It's me, Bobby.
Dilando.
Took way too fucking long.
Jerry.
Yeah.
We're about pauses.
And Joey's not here. We don't know why Joey's not here, but we'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Joey is attending the New Year's Eve goth convention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like a party. They get together at the end of the year.
No, he's actually at like the New Year's Rockin Eve. Like it's a whole thing they do tonight. This guy hosts it, Ryan Seacrest. But it's just like that the before party.
Can it not be? Can it be like Mario Lopez? You know, it's like the knockoff New Year's
Eve.
It's
like Tom Bergeron.
It's Tom Bergeron.
No, it's Joey. Joey's hosting New Year's Rockin' Eve in Times Square right now. You should tune in.
But it's like it's in one of the venues that like the guys that get you for the free comedy show tickets.
Yeah.
It's in one of those venues.
The musical guest is like the B-52s.
Yeah,
so
the musical guest is
Rock
like,
Lobster.
It's a Beatles cover band.
Yeah.
But it's two black dudes and they make it like Afrocentric.
And there's like 13 people.
Yeah.
So that's what Joey's up to.
Yeah.
So Joey's on hosting duty right now. Mm-hmm. We're just hosting our show, no biggie. If you want to follow along, this is what we're going to be chatting about this episode. Some life experiences, some gaming, some movies, other stuff. You could go ahead and drop a like. That'd help us a lot. You could subscribe. That would also help us a lot. And all you have to do now is sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. Let's get right into it. I don't know why I took that mental pause. It felt appropriate, but nevertheless, I'm curious to start this off with someone who doesn't usually start the podcast off. That being my boy Jerry here.
Yeah.
Jerry went ahead and did something cool that I wanted to be a part of but couldn't, which I'll get into in a bit. But Jerry represented Joystick at our second poker night.
Yeah.
We couldn't go to, and you did significantly better.
Yeah.
So talk about that, buddy.
Yeah. So. First of all, thanks to Milton and Victoria for hosting.
Yeah, shout outs.
It was great. You know, we got some food. We ordered like way too many wings.
I heard you got like 100 wings or something like that for how many, like 7 people?
And I'm thinking we got 100. Maybe they're like kind of small wings. They're kind of big wings. You know, they're like full size wings. Jesus. I only had like 5 or 6, but yeah, they're pretty good. But yeah, I didn't go. I fully went expecting to like buy back in, lose and buy back in. I was like, all right, I'm just going to win. I mean, not to win, to
get some more experience.
Yeah, to learn, because I sucked ass last time. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll make it to like the Final Four this time. Yeah. And it ended up being a lot better because I mean, just if I want to summarize, I had a few good hands in a row. And then I became the villain of the day.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that usually happens.
And it was fuck Jerry, because I don't know how, like, I just got 4 really good hands. It was like high pairs and shit like that. I got like full houses or whatever, and a straight. I think I got a straight once. And I went from like $9. I was about to be out. I was about to like cash out and have to buy back in.
Yeah.
To fucking like a whole another stack, chilling next to fucking Armando for like the rest of the game.
So you ended up coming in technically second, right?
Yeah, technically second. This is weird. Everyone was tired at the end.
Hey, at least you out of everybody got your money back. Like that's.
I mean, if you think I paid kind of like we shared the cost for the food, so I didn't get anything.
That doesn't fucking count. You need food to survive. This is for the love of the sport we're talking about here.
Yeah,
that's the fucking economics major in you talking. No, if you account for the fact that I paid $275 in Metro car fare to get there.
Yeah. That's very true. I do the same thing, and people get mad at me.
Isn't it $295 now?
It's $290.
$290,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
$290.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that like that's the economics of it all, and it's like that makes it like a bummer, but like that makes me not care about it, but it has to be at least a decent amount of money. It can't be like $1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it's like, the fuck are we doing? Like, I know how much money I spent. Like, how much is Spotify? Like, you know, like I'm thinking of that shit now.
No, yeah, that's true.
Opportunity cost.
Fucking Card Shark Jerry, huh?
Card Shark Jerry.
I kind of want to play poker. We had plans to like maybe play a different type of game after this, but poker's fun, man. I haven't played poker in forever.
Fucking play poker.
Poker's fun.
I'm down. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm not putting money on it though.
Oh no.
I want to try like other card games too. They were talking about like possibly playing spades, but I have no.
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Spades. I know that these guys like to play it. Fucking Armando and Jose and them.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play it.
Never heard.
I was never a gambling man. Despite being my mother's son. Yeah. You'd expect me to.
Yeah.
More of a blackjack guy.
I'm terrified of gambling, if I'm being honest.
I mean, to be like, I don't know. I feel like your mom is a lot like my cousin Kathy, where it's just kind of like that's for like the love of the game, but a different type of game. You know what I mean?
It's like
slots.
It's a different type.
Slots is a different fucking ball game.
You're close. It's a different type of love. It's not the different.
It's
type
like the love of the lights.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. It's like, okay, I really don't mean to sound like a dickhead when I say this, but it's like the slots for my mom are like the Candy Crush at casinos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she can just sit there and bring, bring, bring. But it also just so happens that my mom fucking kills it every single time she won. Yeah, she won fucking 3,200 the other day. It was fucking.
I haven't been here forever.
I don't like going. I hate it. Hate it. If I put,
I haven't. To be honest, as the recovering gambling addict in me, not really, but you know.
But you're like, you know,
cutting my losses.
You're the parlay. You're the parlay kid.
Yeah, I parlayed until I could not parlay anymore. But yeah, I want to definitely go there one time and just be like, well, let's see what happens.
Listen, I'm down to go, but I'll be at the bar drinking a Coke.
Bro, drop some.
Watching a basketball game.
Oh, bro, that's hype. Yeah,
and watching like the fucking 90s cover band, just fucking jamming over there.
Dropping some of his mom's card points.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you talk about my mom, I got my own card, bitch. Don't fuck around. It's in my wallet. I'm a platinum member, bro.
Oh shit. I haven't been since I think the last time I went, I had like $40 and I was like all my money, and I was trying to get like Call of Duty. I forget which one. I was like, I need $20 more. And
I can get Call of Duty.
It took me like an hour and a half to get $20.
Yo, that's mad.
My guy went to the casino with a goal. That's crazy, bro.
I made like 60 that
I'm gonna
day.
start doing my parlays like that. I'm gonna be like, how much is a new air fryer? $80. All right, who's playing? It's like shit. That's actually great too, because it's like now that's how I'm betting on. You know,
it's like I could really flip on this air fryer. Let me bet on it.
Yeah. Oh my god. So to swing off of what Jerry was doing, I was technically supposed to go. Is this your foot?
Yeah.
Oh god, your leg is so long.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow. Weird. Anyway, okay. Just pulled me under the table. I was supposed to go to the poker night that Jerry went to, but unfortunately, I had an old friend that passed away like a couple weeks ago. To clarify, knew him pretty well, but we weren't like super close friends. We were part of like the same community group in my old church where we did the plays and stuff like that. And he was a pretty cool guy, so it was unfortunate the whole situation that happened. But they ended up doing like a little vigil for him, and they ended up doing it at the church I grew up at, which I hadn't been into in like 5 years. So that was kind of, I don't know what the word is. I just nostalgic to be able to go through the gates again, to be able to go into the gym. Because like the funny thing is I grew up in that fucking church gymnasium. Like every day after school, I'm doing homework in the corner, playing basketball, playing pool. Like that's where I got good at pool and everything. But I wouldn't have brought this up if it weren't for a funny fucking story. So when I walk in, it was just like I said, a wave of nostalgia. I'm like, oh my god, this place feels so much bigger. It's like when you go to your old school and everything's way smaller than you remember it being or whatever. But on the floor in tea candles, they wrote like a tribute to him. It said like "Long live" and then his name, and it was really, really beautiful. And I remember like looking at it and being like, oh wow, that's really sweet. And I just walked past it. I thought they were the battery operated click lights, but they're actually like, you know, you light the tea candle, like actual candles. So I was like, damn, there's like 80 fucking candles to write that whole thing out. So eventually before the vigil starts, they get down and they start lighting all the candles. So I'm looking at them doing it and I'm like, this is going to take 1,000 years. So I get down there and I start helping them light the candles. It turns into this whole rotating, you know, 2 people come in, 1 person leaves, 3 people come in, 3 people leave, you know. At one point, it's me and my friend Holly. We're lighting the candles, and the sister of the man who passed away comes and she offers to help us. And we're like, yeah, if you don't mind. So she comes down and we're chatting, blah, blah, blah. Like a minute goes in and now we're like all intently into lighting the candles. And I look over and Holly looks in front of me and she's like struck by something. And I look up and at the same time we point and this poor woman's coat was like on fire. Like she had gotten too close. So like her pocket dangling on the side was like lit. So, you know, she like put it out and everything was fine, thankfully. But when it was all said and done, she had like a hole in her jacket like this big.
Oh shit!
Like it charred right through, and we were like, shit. And one of the girls there was like, I'll get you a new coat, and she was like, it's all right, it's my fault, it's fine, but whatever.
I don't want to say this, but like, did you still spell the thing out?
Oh yeah, it looked great.
Okay, because everyone was picking it up. I'm afraid everyone's picking it up.
We made sure to like we would light one and put it right back where
I was about to say.
Because whoever did it, I should also mention like the actual lettering was way too good. It was like professionally done. You know, I was like, wow, that's awesome. But you know, like I said, the poor lady's jacket lights on fire. She gets up and she pats it out. And Holly's like, yo, look at these fuckers standing right behind her. And they said nothing to her. And sure enough, I look up and it's 3 of our friends, my friend Victor, my friend Paige, and my friend Eric. And they're standing like right behind her. So I get up as a joke and I walk up to my friend Eric and I'm like, yo, damn, you're not gonna, you didn't see anything? You didn't say anything? And my friend Eric is just like, I did, but I didn't know how to say it to her. And I was like, you just tell the girl she's on fire, dude. He's like, I didn't know how to phrase it. I'm like,
you're on fire! The fuck does that mean? Oh, it gives you, like everyone just gets fucking shy. Everyone's like coy. It's like not, like imagine there's a fucking, like imagine a tidal wave coming at you.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry to say this.
There's a tidal
but you might be on fire. You might want to check.
Like imagine a tidal wave coming towards you and you're just like, oh my god, what's going on?
I don't know how to tell anybody.
I don't know how to say like, I don't
run!
Like, no.
Should I tell anybody? We're not going to be able to run anyway.
Oh my god. But that shit just made me laugh, right? I've been laughing over that the whole time. I told my mom, too. I was like, you know, one of us couldn't have been back in Pompeii grounds without a fire being started, but that's just how it be. But other than that, it was a really nice night. It was really great. What were you up to, though? You were partying it up.
Where was I partying?
I don't know. It looked like you were partying.
Oh, yeah.
Was that yesterday? Or was
that was yesterday. Just having some short-term memory loss, I believe. But yeah, no, essentially a lot of people are having parties at this time of year, you know, end of the year. I went to a potluck, you know, which essentially was, hey, everyone crammed a bunch of food and like 30 people into a tiny apartment in Astoria. But we made it work. It was a lot of fun. But I want to talk more about what I did earlier in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So because of Christmas and I wanted Christmas off, I wanted off early for like my girlfriend's birthday. I've been working at my new job every single day of the week. Like,
also, might I just add, big thank you for staying determined, still coming in. This is the second week coming to do the podcast after work.
I also had 2 jobs as well.
It was Dilly Wonka for a bit.
Am I still? The world may never know. Yeah. However, at my current job, I do have a new like role to take on, right? Because signing up for it, I am like a shift lead. So I'm like under manager, but still in charge of all the other like associates and salespeople at the company.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
And what I didn't realize is that a lot of people, I am now in a mentor role, but not in the way you would think. You would think, oh, I'm telling them how to do the job, blah, 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 all of this. Well, no, I am actually a insider on the history of all American pop culture.
That sounds about right.
So, like a lot of the people weren't born in the States. In fact, there's some people, like I have one employee who like they're from Ecuador and they came here like 6 years ago. My assistant manager is from Greece and she came here like 7 or 8 years ago. So like a lot of people are like pretty new to being America.
Gotcha.
So guess who gets to tell them about every fun thing that has ever happened? So
Dylan just has the best job.
Yeah. So I go into work, right, and it's like lunch, I think, right, and one of my people who work at the place, his name is
Daniel,
and he's from Ecuador, and he just goes up to me and he asks me, he's like, Dylan, Subway or Chick-fil-A? And I'm just like, what do you mean? He's like, I want you to pick. Like, he wants me to pick like where to go, and I'm like, both those companies are pretty rough. And he's like, what do you mean? And I had a lot to say. Yeah. I was also on my lunch break. My entire lunch break was explaining to this man who Jared from Subway was. And man, is that a thrilling story if you know nothing about it. And I'm like, and he like literally the other like lead guide or whatever who comes in, she's like at the same level as me. She walks in and he's just like, he lost all the weight from Subway. And I'm like, all of the weight, bro. He was eating some. He had a terabyte? Like, but like, no. And I said that and he was like, no. And then I told him about like Chick-fil-A and I like, oh, they close on Sundays. And like a thing came out about like how they felt like big gay people. And they were like, you know, and he's like, oh, fuck them. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Fuck Chick-fil-A. And now there's been like 4 or 5 different occurrences where like pop culture moments come up and people just don't know. And it's fucking hysterical. I have another coworker and she's like 19, 18. So she doesn't know what fucking anything is. Yeah. So it's like, she's like, oh, that's like, before my time. And I'm like, guess who's here to tell you about it?
Bro, I'm just imagining all of Dylan's like foreign coworkers, like, they get to their U.S. citizenship chest, and they're like, thank you, Dylan. And they're like, who is the first president of the United States? And that guy's like, Jared from Subway. Like, Dylan's been rotting these poor people's brains with fucking pop culture trivia.
It's like, who...
He's like, I don't know the national anthem, but signed... You want to hear about when Justin Timberlake ripped off Janet Jackson's bra?
I have no idea. It's like, who signed the Declaration of Independence?
If he said that and I'm the guy, he's getting in. That's like, you know all you have to do.
Who signed the Declaration of Independence first? Shrek.
Oh, shit.
Man.
But yeah, that's my job. That's what I do.
I love it. I'm jealous.
If anyone asks you, hey, what does Dylan from the Joystick show do?
Pop culture.
That is what.
Professor.
Also, bleep people's names, I guess. Also,
I got you.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Linda from Greece and Daniel from Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Correct.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make sure to bleep it with that audio bite so that when you say it, it's me saying Daniel and me saying Linda. And I said it again, so Bobby, you have 2 options there. Bases covered. Feels good. I can talk about something I've been up to.
What have you been up to?
Your boy made a New Year's Eve resolution last week, and I'm already sticking to it.
Oh, I didn't hear any of those.
Okay, I'll get you back up to speed. I said I wanted to get to 140 to 145 pounds, be able to maintain that throughout the year.
Okay.
I want to get more platinums. You obviously know about that one. We had resolutions for the channel, like working up to 2 uploads a week and things to do to make the podcast itself better. Dylan and I made a joint resolution to do a comedy set this year, a stand-up set. We're going to both attend. But the one that I'm bringing up is that I said I want to watch more movies because obviously as a filmmaker and cinephile, I feel like I've been lacking in the watching movies department.
Yeah, me too. I remember when you were talking about it, I went home and I was like, I don't watch movies
Yeah, so like in the last week, I've watched like 5 movies.
Nice.
Just like nothing really new, just like catching up on stuff I missed. I watched like the old Tom Clancy movie Without Remorse. There was another action movie that I watched that's escaping me right now, but that's probably how forgettable it was in the first place. But the other movie
Rush Hour 2?
No, it wasn't that. The other movie that I ended up watching that I actually have a couple things to say about because I didn't know I'd have anything to say about it going into it is White Men Can't Jump.
The new one.
The remake.
Okay.
With Jack Harlow.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of want to just like talk about it. This isn't going to be like a super long tangent. I really just want to try to stay on task with the movie itself, the pros, the cons, and then at the end I'll weigh in on how I think it compares to the original version with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, right? So right off the bat, just to say one thing about the original movie to kind of give you like a vision of where the remake is at. The original White Man Can't Jump is pretty much like just about 2v2 street ball. Yeah. That's like pretty much it. Like they're hustlers and stuff like that. The new version kind of has this underlying theme of like pro basketball, making it into leagues, making it into the NBA and all this stuff. So right off the bat, it's a different vibe because it's not just about street ball hustling. It's about
there's more stakes
working towards exactly right. Too. To give you like some plot stuff you might need. Also, this is spoiler alerts for White Men Can't Jump. Sorry, but
they can't do it.
Yeah,
they can't.
Can they do it? You're gonna find out. Fucking Jack Harlow's character, his name is Jeremy. He's a former Gonzaga basketball player who tore both his ACLs and pretty much can't play professional basketball again. However, he has like this deluded vision where he can make it into the G League and work his way up. So he's like trying as hard as he can, going so forth as to like check out alternative medicine, and he's also like addicted to painkillers.
Yeah.
The other character's name is Kamal. I don't know the actor's name. I'll put the actor's name here. But Kamal's storyline is that like when he was like in high school, he was set up to kind of be like the next LeBron James, like huge high school prospect. But it just so happened that in his senior year of high school, he got into a fight with a fan in the stands, got arrested, and it ruined his chances of making the pro because he has like anger issues. Right?
Interesting. How come, like, not to cut you off, but I feel like all of these sports movies have like the same plot, but just different things happen. It's like they were gonna be a former player, but then blank.
Oh, by the way, just to give you like,
he got hit by a car.
Just to give
he got hit by 2 cars.
Just to give you some like insight, this movie is like slightly worse hustle. Like,
That's all. Yeah.
Literally. But fucking, so they're both playing for different things, and also Kamal's thing is he hasn't played basketball in like 10 years, but he plays it because he loves it, but doesn't know that yet. You know what I mean? Like, it's something he has to discover in himself and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to fast forward through the entirety of the rest of the movie because who really gives a shit?
Why are we reviewing it then?
Because I'm going to get to I just need to set up the plot so then I can tell you this shit, right? The end of the movie is basically him and Kamal and Jeremy make it to like this 3v3 $500,000 street ball tournament. They end up winning it. And then the ending of the movie, which I'd like to start as my first pro of the movie, is it has a pretty believable good ending.
They meet Michael Jordan.
Yes, that's exactly it.
And they shake his hand. They fly up into the sky.
And they become just as good as basketball as him. So Jeremy gets hurt in the game or whatever, which pretty much kind of solidifies the fact that he's got to like relax with the basketball shit. But his whole thing in the movie is he's really good mentally speaking. Like he meditates and he takes care of his body with the health and stuff.
Okay.
So at the end of the movie, you find out that he becomes a pro player coach. And the player that he's coaching at the end of the movie is Tyler Herro. And the joke is like that Tyler Herro's a huge hothead, and fucking even Kamal's like, I thought he was a chill guy, and he's like, nah, it's all a cover. They need me. And then he goes and he like calms Tyler Herro down and shit.
That's funny.
In Kamal's case, people get so impressed with his gameplay at the tournament that he actually goes overseas, plays with a Chinese team. They win a championship, comes back to LA, plays for the South Bay Lakers, and then gets a 10-day contract to play in the NBA. So right off the bat, I like the fact that it was a good, realistic sports.
It was like these guys weren't gonna make it to the fucking NBA.
And you know what? It's funny because like you really like they're lovable characters. So part of you is like, they're not going to, but it'd be cool to see them in the NBA, But in a weird kind of hustle sense, they both make their way to their roles, you know. So I like that. Let's jump into a con of the movie right off the bat. I think the pacing is really fucking weird. Like,
I mean, the pacing of your review matched.
It's truth on like the first. I kid you not. This is no exaggeration. I'm pretty sure in the first 6 minutes of the movie, there's like a flashback scene that sets up some exposition about Kamal's character. Then Kamal is playing basketball in his high school gym, and he immediately meets Jeremy's character.
They're speed running, they're like all
everything,
the setup.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not like here's Kamal, here's Jeremy, then they meet. It's like right when they meet.
That's usually what movies do.
Exactly.
They do like
a little bit of setup,
a couple
here.
of scenes here at their house, a scene at their house.
They're
in the car. He's in the car.
Even later on, like the whole setup is another. Real quick, I'm gonna interlace this. A big pro I did have for the movie is, I actually think all the side characters were hilarious as shit. To give you some perspective, Andrew Schultz is like the gym drug dealer for Jeremy. I forgot his last name, but this guy, he's a comedian, Miles, and Vince Staples play Kamal's best friends. So they're just like a comedy duo in themselves. Nice. And obviously anything Vince is in is going to be fucking hilarious. So there's just like a bunch of cast of all these like side characters that are really great.
Yeah.
And I bring that up because at the end, holy shit, I just lost what I was gonna say.
Oh no.
No, that's what it was. At the end, or rather at the beginning, when Kamal is looking for team members, the obvious choice would be the two characters that are his friends, Miles and Vince. But then they can't do it, so he has to go recruit Jeremy. But like that happens super fast. He's like, I just want to know if you want to play this pickup game. But it's like, didn't you just hate this guy because he's white and he beat you at basketball? Which leads me into my other con. There's just so much like race stuff. Like I get that was a big point in the original movie. Like white men can't jump, and that's how like Woody Harrelson's character is able to hustle people because like he can't play basketball. But this game like triples down on it. Like I think they try to go about it in like a friendly banter kind of way, where Kamal's character is
it's like,
white guy.
hey, you can't do that. You're a white.
And it's honestly like I'm not saying it from the perspective of like a social justice person. I'm saying it from the perspective of it just got old really fast. Like it doesn't even sound like how friends talk in real life. You know what I mean? Like even if you had like friends and you make your racist jokes, like you're not saying it every fucking sentence.
It feels like almost like when like E3 would do like the fake comms.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Like they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go take this flank." It's like no one talks like that in comms. What are we doing?
And then last but not least, to sum it all up, in comparison to the original movie, I actually think I did like this one a little bit better than the original, interestingly enough. The original, White Men Can't Jump, is a good movie. I think it has like the vibe of like just a cult classic. You know what I mean? I love it too. Yeah. But to be specific, I just really like that this movie kind of ties in more to like the league and not necessarily in the NBA, but just more into pro basketball. Like that whole theme kind of elevates it a lot, and it feels more like a basketball movie and less like a movie about guys who play basketball. Which are two different takes. You might like one better than the other. I don't necessarily think one is.
And also, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it just might be me, but I feel like before Hustle, I feel like the whole like basketball genre was very overrated.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
No, yeah.
It's like there's so many, like Coach Carter, and then the one that Ben Affleck is in. Like there's like just 80 movies where there's
Alcoholic Ben Affleck.
Yeah, this is a ton of movies where it's like, here's this coach of a basketball team that doesn't matter.
I watched that movie.
And they are troubled. It's like, why do I care about this? You have to like make me care.
No, but it's refreshing to see like a realistic basketball movie. Like that's what, and it can be inspirational. Yeah. Like they still find a way to do it.
Taco Tuesday.
And the last thing I'll say, my biggest con in this movie next to the pacing thing, there is a severe lack of NBA player and celebrity appearance in this movie. In fact, I think there's only 2 NBA players.
I feel like they just got Jack Harlow and they were like...
Yeah, right. He's pretty good in the movie, actually. He's pretty decent. Blake Griffin's at the end. Blake Griffin just hands him a check for like 2 seconds.
Here you go, bro.
And there's one more that I remember seeing, but I totally forgot who it was. But it wasn't even like a big name either. I was like, whatever.
Stan Van Gundy.
Now I'm curious. I'll look it up later. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, Jerry, you been playing any roguelike Greek mythology based games lately?
Yeah, I've been playing Hades. Yeah. How about you?
I've been playing Hades.
Do you hate
pretty good game?
Hades?
I'm starting to. I'm fucking starting.
It's like
to.
That's why like I was gonna download it, and then I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna have fun. I don't have enough time to play it and have fun.
I had fun for the first 30 plus hours.
It's fun. It's just, after a while, I'm like, all right, I have to do another run just to get like a quote to get the plat.
Well, to be fair, where Jerry's at is like a different breed of annoying. Yeah. Like where Jerry's at, like to further like quests and stuff like that, you just kind of have to play a run and die, which can get monotonous. Which is yes, I totally get you.
Until now, I've had a great time. It's like a 9.5 for me.
Where I'm stuck on a challenging mode called like 16 Heat, where you just have to beat the game with a bunch of gameplay modifiers that make it harder.
Yeah.
And I've probably died like 18 times to it, and I want to throw my controller out the fucking window. So it's a different breed of hatred right now for this game.
Nice.
But to flip the coin real quick, I fucking love this game. This game is pretty.
It's good.
It's a sick game.
Yeah.
I've wanted to play it for a really long time, and Jerry finally.
I mean, I've seen Jerry play it.
Yeah, I've seen him play it all the time on the Switch. But
yeah.
Was it that it didn't come out for consoles, or?
I think it wasn't out on PlayStation yet, or something.
I think it was
like
PC and Switch. I think originally for a bit, and then it came out later on console.
But when I had it on Switch, I never like got as far as I am now. Like I only got to. I didn't do any of the epilogue. Like I barely handed out the nectars and stuff. So now I'm like actually seeing the story, right? Yeah.
Cool. and I get to do it too.
Bro, I love how like we didn't explain, like it's a roguelike, so like it doesn't matter. But I like how you guys didn't explain it, and you were like, yeah, I got the quotes, handing out the nectars.
But like that's
I've been jelking and juicing everyone. It's like no one knows what the fuck this is. Like,
you play as Hades' son, and he tries to escape the underworld with the help of the Greek Olympic gods behind his back. Simple enough.
Yep.
Good enough. And, in the attempt to reach his mom, who's in the mortal realm.
Yeah.
There you go. So
his mom is Persephone.
Yeah. Persephone.
That's good.
And it's cool because you get all the powers and upgrades you get are through the means of the Olympic gods, and they all kind of have their own different like bonuses. Like Zeus is all about lightning damage, so whenever you hit people with attacks, they get struck by lightning and can get extra damage. Fucking Athena's all about getting critical hits. Dionysus is all about hangover damage because he's like the god of wine, so you get people drunk and they do extra damage. So it's cool stuff like that.
So I know I said it was annoying that I have to keep going for the quotes, but I also do think that it's cool that the plot is the game. You know?
No, there's roguelikes don't do that.
Yeah,
you know, like one of the closer ones would probably be like Rogue Legacy, and even then it's just like you have to read these texts.
And even then, like there's like you get like mid. Those are just like modifiers. Like they change the way you play the game. It's not necessarily the plot.
Right.
You know, like Rogue Legacy would be like, oh, now I'm doing this, you know, or I'm trying to get here. But
but Hades has like an actual story where every time, or at least for the first 10 times, every time you beat it, it furthers the story. You get more answers, more questions, blah, blah, blah.
Very cool.
And even after the 10 games that technically beat the game and you get the credits to roll, there's like a whole epilogue section too, which is cool stuff. I was also going to say earlier, I hope when Hades 2 gets released, which I heard is supposed to be fourth quarter this year, we'll see. I hope it comes out on console and they don't do the same PC Switch thing. Cause
I don't think they will.
That'd be really sucky.
I think we've learned.
I think people have seen how cool that game is.
Yeah, word. But it's like an early release next year. And, you know, I was actually watching a video about Hades and, like, the development. And apparently, like, they like worked really close with, like, the people that wanted to, like, play it.
That's dope, yeah.
Like, apparently they switched the main character halfway through development. That was like
cool.
a whole thing.
Wow. Fucking
instead of just making a game no one likes, it's like, hey, let's make a game everyone will like.
Right.
Or the people who will play it will like it.
Yeah, but I just wanted to reiterate, if it sounded at the beginning like this game is getting on our nerves, it's because it is, but we've put a considerable amount of time into it. That being said,
short amount of time. If
you pick this game up, it's not that expensive. The first 20 so hours will be a fucking ball. Like, it's one of those games that has a really fair difficulty curve. Like the first couple runs you do, you are not gonna make it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's
you feel yourself.
That's every roguelike. I feel like if you play a roguelike for the first time,
you'd be surprised. There are some that are way too easy, or some that are way too hard. But this one I feel is real, just in the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And that's fun because you can feel yourself progressing. It's like, I can get here consistently now. I just have to get past it.
I feel like we've almost talked about roguelike so much we could do a roguelike tier list.
Yeah, it's getting to that point.
Or a
well, we have an idea.
I've been watching those.
Well, because there's also roguelites, which is like the games that are like half roguelike but not fully roguelike.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I feel like if we talked about them, there's only like 10 we could actually really, because there's only like 10.
And then you gotta call me in as a consultant. And
like right off the bat,
I played it for an hour. It's okay.
It'd be like Isaac, Gungeon, Axolotl, Wizard of Legend, Returnal,
Slay the Spire.
That's a bunch.
There's a lot, bro. There's like all like there's a lot. I mean, you guys didn't play any.
Curse to Golf.
To Golf.
There's a lot of sports ones, so we would be picking like a couple of sports.
What's the one we used to play on PS4? The first-person shooter one, Tower of Guns.
That one's good.
Immortal Redneck, which is literally Tower of Guns, but
it's also very good.
Egyptian.
I saw gameplay for it, but I like.
It's Egyptian mythology, and it's really fast. It's like 3D bullet hell, fast-paced is like impossible for me. It's like there's too much going on. We can play it though. It's fun.
I take it back. Get ready for the roguelike tier list.
Bobby's like,
probably coming.
Bro, we just ran into the multiplayer roguelike.
S tier is just Rogue. The original Rogue gets S tier. We're like, yeah, bro.
I have to play it.
In the fucking spirit of games, I'd like to think that Jose's in my room right now playing Superliminal, just cracking away at that. Because I had to talk about this game. I have to talk about it.
Before we end, we must talk about.
We have to talk about Superliminal.
It's a great game.
It is a really great game. Yesterday, Jose came over last night. Came over again today. We're gonna hang out later, but we were just shooting the shit. And he wanted me to play a game, but I was just so Hades'd out, and I didn't want to play a shooter. I was just like, I want to find something different. So I'm just scrolling down through the PlayStation library, and I scroll upon this game called Superliminal, and I click it to check more, and Jose looks up from his phone, and he's like, yo, you should play that. Me and Jerry played it, like, not too long ago, and we got pretty far into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. And I download the game, and I get ready to play it, and all Jose keeps telling me is, like, yo, there are these parts in this game. It took us forever to find out, blah, blah, blah. I started just breezing through it. Like, every room I got to, I just figured it out. I think part of it is that I have this experience playing games like Portal, Quantum Conundrum,
you know what's going on
with a Witness. Like, I get the idea, right? Especially this game, which encourages you to think outside the box a lot. It's kind of like the big staple or the big gimmick. It's a perspective-based puzzle game. But, dude, I don't know what it is. It's got to be one of my favorite games I've ever played. It's so much fun. There's so much variability. It's a really creative game. It's really creative. Like, the amount of stuff that's possible for you to do, to the point where you'll look at a ledge and you're like, can I get up there? And then you get up there and there's something up there and you're like, I was supposed to get up here. But it's just a really creative way of, like, looking at a puzzle and just completely dissecting it and saying, nah, I'm going to do it this way, or I'm going to do it a different way and get a different result. But it's really dope. If you haven't played it, right?
No.
You have to play it. It's fucking awesome. Maybe we should play it together. I can help you. But regardless, I wanted to sing its praises because I think it's actually, like, my favorite first-person puzzle game now. Like, it might even be better than Portal for me.
I think Portal's overrated, I think.
Portal's not overrated, and you can shut the fuck
Portal's
up.
not overrated.
And I'm talking specifically Portal 2.
Okay.
I think Portal 2 just has, like, the gameplay length. Like, it feels like a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when you play Portal 2, this game is more like...
It's like an hour or two.
You can beat it in a couple hours.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. Portal 2 is like a game. Like, it takes a while to beat. But if Superliminal was like that, it'd be like a top 10 game for me. I don't give a fuck. But that, I feel like another thing to say is, like, that's kind of the cost of the creative process, too. Like, you can only come up with so many ideas and so many gimmicks and puzzles and stuff. I feel like making a game like that is extra difficult.
Yeah.
It's like a whole layer of, like there's one thing to make it work. There's a whole other thing to make it a fucking doable puzzle. So props to, I think they're called Supergiant Games or something like that, or that might be the
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's Hades. Yeah.
I don't know. They're shout outs to them.
Shout outs to put it on the screen.
It's their first game,
The
right?
only game they made.
Yep.
Make another one, please. Superliminal 2. It's fucking sick. All right.
Ultraliminal.
You want to talk about some music now?
Maybe.
Okay. If you don't want to, you
Maybe.
don't have to.
Perhaps.
I was just thinking,
We might.
perhaps we could just talk about, like, music recommendations
Jam.
for the week.
Maybe a yam.
Perhaps.
Maybe a slam bam damn bam.
Perhaps.
Rob Van Dam.
Let me take a good look at this list before I make
Can I? I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it.
My yam of the week is "Miss Me" by UnoTheActivist. Rap song that midway through goes like double time and like the bass picks up and you're just kind of like, is this a different song? But then it's not. It's a rap song. Cool. And you keep thinking the beat is gonna switch, but it's just a slightly different version of the beat. But yeah, very cool rap song. Very unique.
Fire.
Nice.
Real quick, shoutouts to Jenny Returns by Alan Silvestri, because after Jose and I watched Forrest Gump, the Forrest Gump score is beautiful. Man. Just sit there and take it all in, Feel like I'm a little
Butterfly.
Alabamian and what is it? How Alabamian?
Alabamian.
Alabamanian. Anyway,
Alabama.
If any of you have heard the news, just to keep it in relevance, the new Jack Harlow song, it's called "Lovin' on Me." It's the one with the sample where it's like, "I don't like no whips or chains." It's like everywhere on TikTok and shit. That song samples an old school R&B song called "Whatever" (parentheses bass soliloquy) by Cadillac Dale. Fucking fire ass R&B song.
Shout outs to
back in the
Cadillac
day
Dale
with some great vocals. So shout outs. It's gonna be my jam.
My jam of the week is it's gonna be one of Obama's jams of the year.
Shit.
I had two of them were on the jams.
Yeah, I was running through them a little bit. I was like, oh shit, there's a Dave and Central C song called Sprinter. It's a pretty chill song.
Fire.
Yeah, I have to finish running through the list.
Fucking love Dave.
Shouts to Barack.
Shout outs to Dave.
Well, that has been that's not the word. That's been an episode of the Joystick Show. It's been a fun one.
We're done.
Yeah, there's still enough time to tune into Joey's New Year's Rockin' Eve. I'm pretty sure he's up there with musical guest, the Subway brass band that gets on every other cart.
Also in between music acts, there is Goth Carrot Top.
Oh, who does goth prop comedy?
Yeah, it does just
pulls out like skulls and black candles. Like, am I right?
Am I right?
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. It'd be really cool if you could like this episode of the Joystick Show. You could also subscribe if you're feeling like it. It's totally up to you. We're not gonna pull your arm or anything like that. Stay tuned for some more fun stuff coming your way from El Team Joystick. That's us, but in Spanish. It's a whole different thing. And without further ado, no.